immersive shooting, we picked the most difficult set ever. Smoke, mirrors in every direction. Love it. Welcome to Twilight.
You're listening to Another Bite of Twilight, a podcast where we look back on our obsession with the Twilight saga and continue to freak out 10 years later. Hi guys.
Hi! Welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome back. I'm Melissa, or Mel.
And I'm Kelly, or Kel.
And this is Another Bite of Twilight. If you're just joining us for the first time, we're a podcast that looks back on Twilight, and we have different topics each week.
Yep.
And we are just sharing our love for something that means so much to us.
Couldn't have put it better.
And we're still recording separately.
Yes, I'm still in Vermont. It's my last week though, so...
Oh, it is?
Yes. So This will be over soon, our separation.
Yes.
And guys, I just want to say the last couple episodes, if the audio has been not so great, I'm very sorry about that.
I think it was fine last week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
The one before was not good, but I did change it. I don't know if anyone heard the updated version. But
Yeah, that was my fault. I was sitting far away.
it's okay. I should have caught that, though, and fixed it.
Oh.
We're low budget, just like the first movie, but the best thing you've
Yeah.
ever heard.
Yeah, we don't make any money off this podcast.
No, we don't. It's just all for love. It's just to share good times with you guys.
Yeah.
So, today's topic. Mel, do you want to tell us what today's topic is?
Today we're going to talk about our friend Taylor Lautner.
Whoa. Who is
And
he?
who is he? What's his deal?
Yeah.
And he's not on the show, but we're hoping someday we can interview him.
Yes.
But we're going to talk about who we think he is
Mhm.
and how he comes across in the press
Yes.
in his
And
career.
we've previously done an episode about Kristen and Rob as a couple. We're planning on doing one about them as individuals soon. So just wait for that. But
Yes.
that's why we're doing Taylor Lautner. It kind of seems like we did a Team Jacob episode and are doing a Taylor Lautner episode. It seems like we're obsessed. But you know what? Like, there's just something mysterious about Taylor Lautner. Like, he doesn't get talked about as much, I think. And
Yeah.
we wanted
And
to
I
see
just, yeah.
what's up with that.
I can't figure out who he is as a person. And I think Taylor is very different from Jacob. So this is really not a Jacob episode. It's a solely a Taylor the actor episode.
Mm-hmm. But he was very much a part of Twilight. Like, he
Mm-hmm.
is part of this universe. So we had to cover it.
Yes.
But first, I wanted to talk about some feedback we got from our last episode.
Oh.
Well, this wasn't really about us or anything, but it was just, we were talking about Eclipse, the end of Eclipse, the book,
Mm-hmm.
and we were asking people on our Instagram what they thought about Jacob and his behavior in the book, how he sort of manipulates Bella to kiss him, and also forcibly kisses him, and just what do people think about that? And I thought people had some interesting responses. User SimThe3rd 2.0 said, "The thing is, Stephanie assassinated Jacob's character to make it seem like Edward was the better choice. His personality in Eclipse is so different to how he was in New Moon that they might as well be two different characters. As someone who's Team Jacob, this is what annoyed me the most. Yes, Edward can win, but there are other ways of handling Jacob's character and having Bella choosing Edward instead of ruining a character so that you can force the audience..." Oops, my screen just turned off.
That's interesting. I feel like that was a theme of a lot of the comments that we received is people didn't have a way to defend Jacob's actions, but they prefer Jacob in New Moon and think that it's Stephanie's fault that he came across that way.
Yeah, it's kind of a gray area. There's really no way of knowing, like, what... Because it is Stephanie's creation, And people have said that about other series that I liked. Like, sorry, I bring it up all the time, Game of Thrones. People will say, like, oh, the writers, like, assassinated that character. But what does that mean? And, like, does that make it not really Jacob's truth, you know? Just because we don't like it? I don't know.
It's like people have their own version of who Jacob is, especially, like, in New Moon. And then things that counter that he does later in the series. That's not the real Jacob to them.
Yeah.
That's not their Jacob.
But I thought his comment here was really interesting. And, like, I see what you're saying. Like, I don't disagree. Like, I have felt that way before, too. Especially with TV shows where I'm like, what? Like, they wouldn't do that. This is weird.
Yeah.
Angel, we've mentioned her on the show before, said, Stephanie definitely did not think about how Jake's actions could be taken. The fact of the matter is that both Jacob and Edward have done some messed up things, and neither of them are the perfect dream guy. I think a lot of us thought when we were 12 and reading the books for the first time, what Jake does isn't any better or worse than Edward. They're both flawed, but they also both have redeeming characteristics. They are both fiercely protective, maybe overprotective at times, sure. And I think in his heart, Jacob does want what's best for Bella, which is why he tries to push himself on her, literally and figuratively.
That is interesting. I agree. I don't think that Stephanie fully knew that that's how it would come across.
Yeah, I know. I don't think so either, just because no one really takes it seriously at all in the book.
Yeah, exactly. You would think, I think that it might have been Angel who made the same comment, that you would think that Edward would have been upset about the second kiss too. Like, even though he made those rules where he said, if she asks for it, but you think he would have read Jacob's mind and saw it happen and realized that, like, he manipulated her and that's just as bad. But it's like almost makes it worse in the story because no one is upset about it. Like, no one takes that as wrong.
I know. I don't know. The only thing I can think of is maybe Edward felt like there was nothing he could do because he decided he wasn't going to intervene. I don't know, but he could have at least told Bella, like, hey, he totally just manipulated you, but...
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, and then pretty much everyone else sort of agreed with what we said and basically said very similar things to our reactions in the episode. But yeah, we did have some people defending Jacob, like user Wiccan Indigo said, him wanting to kill himself, I don't think he was trying to be manipulative. He just wanted her to love him so much so he got more pushing because he knew she felt the same. So, thank you, Wiccan Indigo. Yeah, some people are like on Jacob's side here. So,
yeah. Yeah, I know we were almost too anti-Jacob last episode, but
I mean, I stand by my
me too
reaction, but you know what? Like, it's a confusing story.
Yeah, and I love just, like, even if you guys disagree with us, I just love hearing what you have to say. And I think that, like, it's a mixed bag. Like, I feel like everyone is right in a way. And
yeah, I actually kind of like getting different responses to what we say.
Me too. And we read all of your responses, and thank you guys so much for writing us.
Yeah, thank you. It's crazy that you guys are even listening and engaging. It's so cool. So thank you.
Well, should we get into it?
Sure.
Kelly's going to talk about the beginning of Taylor's life, and I'm going to talk about the latter half of it so far.
Yeah, kind of switching things up because I think we did the opposite for Stephanie Meyer and Robston. I did like the end for them.
Yeah.
Now you're doing the end for Taylor. Not the end. They're all still alive. But yeah, so Taylor Daniel Lautner, that's his middle name, was born on February 11th, 1992 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And he has a sister named McKenna. You can basically find this on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
But maybe you were never going to look it up, and we're telling you. And his mother's name is Deborah. She was a software computer worker, and his father, Daniel, which is his middle name, is a pilot for Midwest Airlines.
Oh, no way, really?
Yes. Or at least he
Wow.
was. Taylor and his sister apparently were raised in a well-mannered Roman Catholic household in Hudsonville, Michigan. And although Jacob is...
No, Taylor.
I was going to say, although Jacob is a Native American,
Oh.
Taylor's heritage, or he's descended from English, German, Dutch, French, and Scottish roots, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
And
I'm surprised that Catherine Hardwicke didn't cast someone.
yeah, so I was thinking this, like, I don't know, Catherine Hardwicke recently being like, oh, I would have loved to have, a more diverse cast. Obviously, like, we like Taylor, not that we don't want him in it, but if that's true, why did she cast Taylor Lautner?
Yeah, like, all the other actors in the series are Native actors.
True.
But I don't understand why the main one is not.
I know.
And he's very white, actually. Like, those are all, like, very, very white countries.
Yeah, and he is, like, tan, but I almost feel like that might be from, like, his French side, and
Yeah.
Swedish people can have, like, dark hair, and yeah. But then, this was on IMDb, I'm not sure if this is true, but apparently Taylor stated that he discovered that he has distant Native American ancestry, specifically of the Ottawa and Potawatomi tribes on his mother's side. However, all of Taylor's maternal great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents are listed as white on the U.S. Census. So...
Oh, really?
Maybe it's way further back, but, like, that seems... I mean, maybe it's true, but...
Yeah, but there's a difference between having, like, a little bit of
Yeah.
ancestry and then, like, identifying with a culture.
Yeah.
Or identifying with being Native.
He definitely isn't, like, a Native American. He, like, maybe
Yeah.
he does have, like, a smidge way back in his family tree, but...
Aren't you, like, a little bit Native American?
No, I don't think I am. I've never done the Ancestry DNA stuff, though, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, on our side of the family, all of our relatives are not new immigrants, but, like, on the newer side, so...
Yeah. But on my dad's side of the family, they were kind of, like, I think my dad's mother's side of the family came from the Mayflower.
Oh, yeah.
Which
goes far back.
Ties into Taylor Lautner because apparently he's a descendant of William Brewster, a noted pilgrim, and wife Mary, who came to Massachusetts as Mayflower passengers. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, he's pretty white.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was interesting. People really, like, were looking this up, apparently.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, people looked up the census for his grandparents.
Yeah, they're like, what is he? He can't be Swedish.
I feel like people didn't get that upset about it, though.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe because he, like, is passing as Native and he's not, like, very obviously white.
I almost feel like people were doubtful that he wasn't or something. Like, what?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. But that definitely happens. So, growing up in Michigan, Taylor studied karate at the age of 6 and began winning tournaments within a year. And apparently he trained with a 7-time world karate champion, Mike Chat. I don't know him, but if any of you guys are into karate, maybe you do. In 2004, he represented the U.S. in the 12 years and under division in the World Karate Association. He went on to win the Junior World Forms and Weapons Championship during the competition, as well as 3 gold medals. And he was ranked number 1 in the world for NASCA's Black Belt Open Forms, musical weapons, and traditional forms. And by age 12, he had won 3 Junior World Championships. So it really seems like,
God.
I know, he was really good, and it seemed like karate was, like, his thing. And you'll even see when he's older, like, he would do backflips and stuff in interviews all the time.
Kind of seems like he was a prodigy.
I know. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, why did he even stop doing that? Like, why did he transition to acting?
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that, but it seems like he was a natural at it, so.
Do you know how he got discovered acting?
Yes. So I guess he got his start. He didn't really get discovered. He was actually auditioning for things. He, at the age of 7, he auditioned for a part in Burger King advertisements in LA, which I don't really understand. It seemed like they went to LA for him to audition to things, and then his family moved there. And I guess he would continue to audition unsuccessfully for other roles for the next 3 years. And at the age of 10, Taylor and his family moved to LA in order to pursue his acting career. And then he had some small roles on TV shows like My Wife and Kids, Summerland, the Nick and Jessica Variety Hour. I don't know what that is. But yeah, so he was doing small things. And then he did voiceover work. He had a recurring role on the cartoon Danny Phantom. And
he did?
Yeah, I guess so. He played someone called Youngblood. I don't know who that is, but I can't remember that show that well. But yeah, I used to watch that show sometimes.
Yeah. Wait, that's kind of a long time for a kid to be pursuing something. Like, I feel like usually child actors, they get like one role. Like, I don't know. I'm not as familiar with the business, but like that's a long time for him to like be trying.
He's trying for years. Yeah. It's crazy. And I guess he was on 2 episodes of What's New Scooby-Doo, and he's a bully Charlie Brown. So they're like really small, cute things, and just some other TV shows. And he told Rolling Stone, I guess he was bullied as a kid for acting. He said, because I was an actor, when I was in school, there was a little bullying going on, not physical bullying, but people making fun of what I do. I just had to tell myself, I can't let this get to me. This is what I love to do, and I'm going to continue to do it. Which, now it seems like hard to believe. Like, what? I doubt it. But I can see that. Like, I feel like kids that do acting in school are sometimes seen as kind of lame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in LA, you'd think it'd be different. I don't know.
Yeah, or I feel like a lot of kids would be jealous of them.
True. Yeah. But then he finally got his big break. You know what it is. Shark Boy in The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl 3D.
Classic.
The film was full-length feature. They filmed it in Austin, Texas. I've seen it once and I hardly remember it, but some people seem to like be very fond of that movie.
Yeah, people love it.
I know, but I really don't remember it. I do remember, I think George Lopez was in it for some reason.
That sounds right. Yeah, I think he's like a talking head.
Yeah, it was like really creepy. Yeah. And then months after wrapping Shark Boy and Lava Girl, he auditioned and got the part for Elliot Murtaugh, son of Steve Martin's rival in Cheaper by the Dozen 2, which was released in 2005. My family watched Cheaper by the Dozen 2 a lot growing up, so I'm familiar with this role.
I love Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah, me too. We watched both of them a lot, but I almost feel like we watched 2, maybe more. I don't know why.
Really? It's a nice summer movie.
Yeah, it's a good summer movie. My sister loves that movie. Shout out Shannon.
Shannon?
Yeah.
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 I definitely prefer Cheaper by the Dozen 1.
Yeah.
But I won't hate Cheaper by the... Oh, this is totally off topic. I'm sorry. But we were just talking about Cheaper by the Dozen earlier today in a group message.
No way.
And so I was watching... Yeah, with you were in it.
Me? Oh, I didn't read it.
It's on Instagram.
Oh, I don't... What? Did I see it?
I don't know. It was mostly with me and Caitlin.
I don't think I saw it yet.
Yeah, so we were talking about how Cheaper by the Dozen is getting remade.
It is?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, which we were very upset about. But so then I was watching clips of Cheaper by the Dozen because I love it so much. And the oldest sister in that movie is so annoying.
Oh, Nora?
Nora, yeah. She's wearing like a pantsuit and walking around like she's an adult. And then I looked up, how old is this girl supposed to be? She's only supposed to be 22. Doesn't she act like she's 30?
Yeah, she did. What the heck? I need to rewatch it.
She's so snobby and pretentious.
Why do they keep remaking things? Can't they just make a new movie about a big family with some other dynamic?
And they're remaking Home Alone.
What? That's
Yeah.
You can't do that. No. That's horrible.
And Night at the Museum.
What?
Yeah, which came out not that long ago.
That's just disrespectful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Robin Williams.
Yeah. Like what the hell?
Yeah. So.
Ugh, I hate remakes.
Mm-hmm.
Hate them.
That's fucked up.
That is fucked up. That's truly fucked up. We need to do something, guys. All right, this is my platform that I'm spreading the news. We need to boycott these remakes. Okay.
I was looking for more thought pieces about how these remakes are getting out of hand, but I couldn't find like a good one that really spoke to me.
I've seen some. I'll try to find them again and send them to you.
Yeah, I just like needed something.
Yeah, there's something really nice about reading someone's blog or their article online and you're like, yes.
Yeah, it just says everything I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, I have seen that actually. Actually, I think a coworker sent me one about remakes. I'll try to find it.
But I think the remakes are only going on Disney Plus, so their streaming service.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't think they're being released in the theaters.
I hope this Disney streaming thing dies. Okay,
Yeah,
I
me too.
I do love Disney at heart, but they're pissing me off lately, so
Oh gosh.
yeah.
No originality anymore.
They're probably gonna like buy Lionsgate and remake Twilight. Just a heads up.
Oh. If they
That could happen.
Twilight, if they own Twilight, they would be remaking it already.
Yeah, but they could purchase it in the coming years. They're buying everything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane.
I didn't even think of that yet. Oh no.
Oh, I know. Now I'm so fearful.
Stuff like that happens all the time. You like read the news and it's like, oh, this thing got bought. Now this person owns it.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that'd be horrible.
Anyway, back to Taylor Lautner. Apparently, he had a high school girlfriend named Sarah Hicks.
Oh.
Yo, what's up, Sarah Hicks? And I guess they dated for a long time, even at the beginning of Twilight fame. I don't know. This is according to...
Wow.
This is not really a reputable source. It's J14.
Oh my god, I knew you were going to say that.
But it was actually a recent article, so... I don't know.
Oh, wow. A recent article?
Yeah, it was from last year. They were talking about
What?
his whole love life. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I didn't even know J14 still existed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess he was in a long relationship for years, which I think kind of might explain, not to be really nosy here, but it seems like his relationships after that were quite short. So now it kind of makes sense to me. I don't know.
So I feel like I've heard of her.
It didn't ring a bell to me.
Yeah. She's just a normal person.
Yeah, I think she's a normal person. Like us. Like us dweebs.
Yeah.
Next I have, it's 2008, and he lands the role for Jacob Black. You know, the main character of the hit Twilight. And I guess at the same time, he also played Christian Slater's son in a short-lived TV series called My Own Worst Enemy. I did not know that. Yeah, and it was canceled after only 9 episodes.
Oh, wow. What if that show took off and then he...
Yeah, I don't know.
had to choose?
That would be really frustrating probably for the... He probably would have... I don't know. Do you think he would have dropped the show or would he have dropped Twilight?
Well, they almost dropped him from Twilight, so I
know.
think that he probably... I don't know.
I guess it worked out.
Yeah.
I really don't have like many quotes or anything from him. Just a warning. I watched some clips of interviews and I just like didn't see anything interesting. He was just like, yeah,
me
Jacob's a
either.
great kid. Like,
It's a great experience. I love the fans. Yeah. He doesn't say a lot.
And I guess in those interviews, they're just asking him about Twilight, and he just kind of says what he thinks about it. And there weren't many tell-all interviews.
Yeah.
So, you know, the whole New Moon thing, there were lots of talks, and we discussed this in our casting episode, like, is he going to play Jacob still? He's not muscular enough. He's not tall enough. I guess he's 5'8". And Jacob is described as being like 6'4" or something crazy.
Yeah.
But he, to prepare for the role, gained 30 pounds of muscle, as I think a lot of us know, or at least could tell. But it sounded
That's incredible.
It sounded really difficult. And I think I'm going to put in a clip right here. He was on Lopez Tonight with George Lopez. And
second mention this episode.
Yeah, and they actually talked about Shark Boy and Lava Girl and how George Lopez was there.
Oh yeah.
But they were talking about how much muscle he gained and how he did it and stuff. And as we were talking about earlier, people brought up Taylor's muscles and being shirtless and how good he looked and how much the girls loved him. Interviewers brought this up all the time, and it was really weird.
Constantly.
And I thought that Taylor seemed kind of like embarrassed, and it sounded very difficult to gain weight, and I was kind of feeling bad for him. He was saying,
Taylor Lautner, let's talk about New Moon. What's it like playing Jacob the werewolf? What's that like for you?
It's a lot different than it was in Twilight. Yeah, obviously, I have a lot more to do, but it's a lot more challenging because I'm playing a split personality. I have to bring alive the old side of Jacob, but also the new side, which is this, you know, more fierce and intense side.
So, I also know that you gained 30 pounds of muscle, like you went. You went Robert De Niro, man. I mean, you went and got 30 pounds of muscle. You gained 30 pounds of muscle. This one's mine. Shut up. What kind of diet? What kind of diet?
It was, I mean, the eating part was definitely the most challenging.
But you don't eat just like hamburgers. I mean, it's done the right way, right?
Yeah, definitely. I had to stay away from the ice cream and all that kind of fun stuff. But you know, just a lot of meat, a lot of carbs.
Lifting weights and.
Yeah, getting into the gym was the easy part for me because I was motivated and I knew what the character required. But the eating was challenging. It really was.
What would your diet consist of? What would you eat?
Meat patties, sweet potatoes, raw almonds, in like every 2 hours. I couldn't go 2 hours without eating. And of course, you know, the disgusting protein shakes.
No carne asada or tamales. Because listen, I know Mexicans gain 30 pounds in 2 weeks.
So over the top. And I know actors do that, but he was pretty young. He was still a teenager. And then for everyone, that's all they talked about. Like, they really didn't ask him very interesting questions. They were just like, what's it like? Oh, it seemed cold on set. I saw you shirtless and you were freezing. What was that like? And he was like, yeah, it was really cold. And then they're like, oh, so many screaming girls. What's that like? You know, that's kind of all people asked him about.
It's really fucked up because I think that if it was reversed and a woman had a really good body and that's all reporters asked her about, like, people would instantly know that they were objectifying her.
Yeah.
And like ask about her performance, ask about something about the series, ask about the story, and like,
yeah,
literally every single reporter had to ask about his body. And yeah, it's gross actually because for a lot of that time he was underage too.
I know. Yeah, seriously, if there was like a teenage girl and everyone was like, oh my God, look at those boobs, like,
yeah,
everyone's crazy about you. Like, it would be super obvious that it.
Yeah. And people are touching him too. They're just like Not even asking him, going up, touching his abs, rubbing him.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I kind of feel like it's kind of the producers of the films, too. It's their fault.
Yeah.
Because they really marketed off of, like, oh, here's a shot in the trailer of him taking his shirt. Like, it was such a big part of the series. And I understand it's in the book why they are shirtless all the time. But the other werewolves, they don't have bodies like his. Like, I don't understand why it was such a, necessary thing. Like, he could have still had a six-pack, but, like, they just really, they sold it so much that they really just were, I think, in the end, doing him an injustice because people only thought of him as a piece of meat.
I know. Yeah, I totally agree. Like, did he really have to get that muscular? I don't think so, but...
No. I feel like there would have been actually more depth to Jacob's character in the movies.
Yeah.
If there was less of a focus on his body.
Yeah, I totally agree. And they would have asked more about Jacob as a person rather than, like, what he does. Yeah, I feel like Taylor often refers, like, oh, I became a werewolf. Like, it's all very physical. It's not about, like, the craft of acting, you know?
Yeah. And it probably... I mean, working out for all that time probably took away a lot of his focus. Like, especially in scenes, he probably thinks, like, oh, I have to flex at this right moment. I have to look this way. Yeah. It was, like, less about getting into the state of mind of Jacob.
Around the same time, this is really weird to me, and I don't know what's real or what's not. It was, like, reported that he had a fling or a short relationship with Selena Gomez. And
I remember that.
Yeah, and there are pictures of them on the street. There's probably about 3 different days, or at least 3 different outfits worth of them on the streets, running around, flirting, like laughing, just being like silly. And I don't know what is true. My friend Sarah actually brought this up. I didn't even know about this. Brought this up to me over lunch and was like, oh, I think that was a fake relationship for publicity. And I was like, what? No way. I didn't know about this, but it does seem kind of weird. Like, why were they out on the street? It seemed like they didn't know each other that well. And then Selena Gomez's friend told people that they weren't dating, that they were just friends. So I don't know what the truth is.
And how would they have been friends? Like, why would they have met and why were they even hanging out?
I don't know. I couldn't figure it out.
I mean, sometimes just like everyone in Hollywood kind of knows each other.
Yeah. Maybe they just like hung out a few times.
But I'm looking at pictures and he's like being very touchy. He's like grabbing her.
Yeah. He's like grabbing her. They're like kind of holding each other. Being really playful. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever it was very short-lived. I don't know. So then they were doing promotional things for New Moon, and he brought this up a few times, this incident in Brazil promoting it, where him and Kristen Stewart were forced to confine together in a hotel room because there were like 2,000 girls storming the hotel lobby. And I read that he said that they called the Coast Guard.
Oh my God.
I know, because there's so many people.
That's a waste of resources.
I know. That is a waste of resources.
Don't they have more important things to do?
Yeah, they definitely do. And yeah, he said in an interview that I listened to that Brazil has the craziest fans. So if you're from Brazil, you have that honor of being the craziest fans.
Brazil does. We've said it before. Brazil loves everything.
Yes. Yeah. What is that? It's just something about Brazil. Like, people are just so passionate about their fandoms.
Whenever anyone posts a comment or posts something online, the first comment is always like, come to Brazil.
Yeah, I know. Come to Brazil. So true. So during all this New Moon stuff, actually, this is when Taylor dated Taylor Swift. Taylor Squared.
Iconic.
Yes, this was huge. This was a big deal back then. people couldn't stop talking about how Taylor and Taylor were dating, and oh my God, they have the same name. And yeah, he was really a big deal at the time. Like, he was one of the top celebrities, you know? So it makes sense. Made sense.
He was only like 17, right?
Yeah. Do you know how old she would have been in 2009? Oh, she was born in 1989, so I guess she's like 3 years older than him.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is this relationship was written about a lot, and she even wrote a song about him, Back to December, which later he like confirmed was about him. But they only dated for 6 months. It was from July to December 2009. Which, I mean, I guess that's kind of long, but for some reason it felt like a much longer relationship at the time.
Well, they are a couple that people think was fake or at least exaggerated for publicity because they broke up, I think, right before or after the Valentine's Day premiere.
Yes.
And they were very public about their relationship. Like, they both addressed it in their SNL monologues.
Yeah. It's very weird. Yeah, so I didn't mention, but I meant to, that he was also in the, you know, ensemble movie Valentine's Day. You know, it had like a ton of actors in it, and Taylor Swift was in it too, and they were like romantic in the movie. Yeah, it does seem very odd to me. So in December 2009, he hosted SNL, which is just crazy to me. I don't know why. It's like, I actually had to really double check this. I was like, wait, he hosted? Like, I remember the skits. I remembered the, you know, Team Edward, Team Jacob skit. But I was like, wait a sec. Taylor Lautner hosted SNL.
He was one of the youngest hosts ever.
Yeah, that's true. Isn't that just weird, though? I don't know why it's weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, Kristen now has, but she hadn't yet, and Rob still never has, and
I wonder if he ever will, Rob.
I don't know. Yeah, not to be mean or anything, but like, Taylor hasn't really been in the spotlight anymore, and so it's just weird looking back. Like, what the heck? He hosted SNL? I don't know.
Yeah, he was a big deal.
Yeah, and yeah, in his monologue, he brings up, it's like about Taylor Swift, basically. I have a clip. I can put it in here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Lautner.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's great to be here hosting Saturday Night Live. You know, I remember when SNL first started. I was negative 18 at the time. And I said to the other babies in heaven, just you wait. One day, I'm gonna host that show. And they said, wow, you're gonna be a comedian? And I said, no, I'm gonna be a werewolf. It's been a really big year for me. I was in a movie called New Moon. Thank you. I also took my shirt off a lot. Too much, in fact. Even Matthew McConaughey told me to cool it. You know, we got a problem. Now, before we start the show, there's a lot of rumors out there about me being romantically linked to a certain country singer, and I wanted to take a moment to address that. Reba and I are just friends. With benefits, of course. I've also become close with a singer named Taylor Swift. You know, I was actually at the VMAs the night she won the award for Best Video, and Kanye West interrupted her speech. I was up on stage with her when that happened, and as you can see, I really stood up for her.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I guess I could have done a little more.
He does a backflip. He brings out the karate. Which makes me think, like, that's his true... I don't know. I feel like that's his real calling. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, it's such an... I feel like he's done it in so many movies, too.
Yeah. Was it in Cheaper by the Dozen, too?
I think it might have been.
He must have done
He
a
does it
backflip.
in, like, Grown Ups. I don't know what else. Probably one those action movies he does.
Mm-hmm. So him and Taylor's relationship, yeah, was it real? Was it?
Well, the thing about... I think Taylor Swift... I don't believe... It's hard for me to believe people would fake a relationship for publicity, but I actually don't believe a lot of Taylor Swift's relationships because they seem very calculated.
Yeah.
And all of the paparazzi pictures always seem too perfect and too posed. And then a lot of her songs reference those paparazzi pics and she'll leave hints about them. And it just seems very purposeful.
Yeah. And it was like obvious to people that it was back to December because she mentions his tan skin.
Yeah. Yeah. Or she says, the night you held me, that September night, the first time you ever saw me cry or something. It's September night, as in the night Kanye interrupted her VMA speech. Did she really cry about that?
I know. I maybe. Probably. Weird. Also in 2009, he was voted one of People's 100 most beautiful people. He was on top of, not the top, but he was like number 2 on a lot of those lists, like hottest man, best bod, like in all these magazines and stuff.
I read that some people are upset about he was on the cover of Rolling Stone. It was like a very sexy photo shoot, but like he was only 17 at the time. So people were like, couldn't you wait like a few more months?
Yeah, I remember that. Is that when he has like the football?
Yeah, actually I didn't realize he was 17. I posted that picture on the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
So now I feel bad about that.
You know what? Whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone else did it.
Yeah. I didn't know. I didn't check the date.
Yeah. You didn't know. I guess in his free time, he was also known to make home movies with his friend and Shark Boy co-star Taylor Dooley. I don't know who that is, but sounds fun. Sounds cute. Yeah, that's basically all I know about Taylor Lautner before clips. So take the floor, Mel.
Yeah, so I'll take it away. So he did a clip.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have probably seen it. It's the 3rd movie in the Twilight series.
Yeah.
He, returned to his role as Jacob Black. Well, I thought it was interesting in promoting Eclipse. He revealed that he was still living at home. He said on the Today Show that he was still living with his family. And I have a clip here.
GQ magazine in the interview, you talk about the fact that, and I think sometimes it's hard to remember that you're 18, right? 18?
Yeah.
You're 18. You still live
at home.
At home.
Yes.
You have chores to do.
Of course.
What chores do you have?
I mean, when I'm home, I help out with the lawn, the garbage, dishes, everything.
How long can you keep that up? I mean, how long can you maintain this idea of being a normal 18-year-old?
As long as possible. It's very important to me. I describe it as I live 2 lives. I have this life where I do what I love to do, but I also have the same exact life as before, and literally nothing has changed.
So when you get back from a month of promoting a movie, the family treats you the same as they did before you left?
Maybe even harsher.
There's more garbage to take out and more lawns to cut?
I got extra mowing to do.
Because it's warm out and the grass grows like crazy. Good luck with this.
Thank you.
In an interview with GQ, it's revealed that he's living in Valencia, California.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's asked if he would get his own place, the interviewer says that he innocently thinks about it as if it had never crossed his mind before.
Really? Aww.
And then he said he just didn't see a point because he's so busy and traveling that he, he's not at home that much anyway.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, and then in the interview, I thought it was funny, he suggests to go to Olive Garden. And he says to the guy, the writer, "Do you like this place? My father turned me on to it." As if it's like a place that no one's ever been before.
Oh my gosh, Taylor.
And he orders Toscana soup with the house salad. And actually, Toscana soup came with the Caesar salad, and so before the waiter even says anything, Taylor says, "Yeah, I know, it's $1 extra." To get the house salad instead.
Oh my god.
So you can
Yeah, I
just
know.
tell that, yeah, you can just tell that that's his go-to order.
He loves Olive Garden.
Very interesting because I always prefer the Caesar salad.
Yeah, well, maybe he was trying to, like, be healthy or something.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's my guess. Keep those abs
Yeah.
in line. But yeah, Caesar definitely tastes better.
And then the waiter tells him, "Go Jacob," or "Go Team Jacob." And then within that interview time, he signs over 12 autographs and takes a picture with everybody who asks.
No way.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty telling.
Yeah.
But if you're being interviewed, I feel like you can't say no to that because then that's going to be in the record.
Yeah, that's so true. Midway through, he declined to sign an autograph.
Yeah, I feel like Rob and Kristen would have.
Yeah, I probably would have. Yeah.
So, yeah, I just have here in every single interview that I watched, they asked him about his body. And then he said in an interview during the Eclipse press, they asked, like, you know, do people look for ways for you to take your shirt off now? And he says about Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
The script said we were walking into school and Willie, his character, takes off his shirt. I said, whoa, come out. He's going to take off his shirt in the middle of school? No. The reason I took off my shirt for New Moon is because it's written in the book that way, and there's reasons behind it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then there's this, in a GQ article, the writer says, "A note to future pop culture historians. This may have been the precise moment it became okay to sell a young male's physique the same way Hollywood sells Megan Fox."
Mm-hmm.
And then I was kind of thinking that, like, I think Taylor Lautner he's not really a bad boy, but he was sort of put in the same box as Megan Fox was.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, like the camera just pans to his
He's
body.
just like a sex symbol.
Yeah, you don't really know much else about him. During this time, Taylor is the highest paid teen actor in the world.
I know.
He made even significantly more than Zac Efron and Shia LaBeouf did.
Wow.
At his age. He made $10 million per Twilight movie. I think that's just per New Moon and Eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
And then Breaking Dawn, him, Kristen, and Rob each signed on to receive $25 million.
Oh my God.
I think that's for both of the movies put together, and then 7.5% of the overall gross revenue.
Wow.
So they're still making a lot of money off of Twilight to this day.
They must be so rich still.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I mean, they really never have to work again. Like, even
No.
just, you know, from people buying it on Amazon or,
Oh my God.
you know, if it gets bought to stream or people just buying the DVDs, like anything that goes with that, they make money off of. And then so he was offered $7 million to be in this movie, Max Steel. It's a action movie, I think. And he signed on to it, and he actually had a meeting with the producer and sat down and told them, you know, he was destined for the role and that he really wanted it. But then he ended up dropping out of it due to scheduling conflicts and wanting to do a different movie called Stretch Armstrong, which is about a toy. It would be an action movie. The GQ article says, Lautner may be hot now, but most insiders see Pattinson as the stronger actor. And Lautner has irked at least one high-profile producer by dropping in and out of many projects in recent weeks. I've never heard of anything like this in my whole life, says Joe Roth, who headed the Fox studio in the 1980s and Disney during the 90s. Most recently, he was producer for Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. Ross says Lautner is attaching himself to too many projects, including one of Ross, that don't have completed scripts yet. He's insane to commit to anything until there's a piece of material that he wants to do, Ross says. By all accounts, the 18-year-old Lautner is an exceptionally affable and disciplined performer. Ross says he doesn't think the behind-the-scenes maneuvering has hurt him yet. He prefers to blame Lautner's representatives. I excuse him because he's a kid, Ross says. I think he's getting bad advice.
Oh, man.
So he told that to a different, I think, The Warp, I guess? Or no, The Daily Beast. And then the GQ writer mentioned that to Taylor. And Taylor just responded by saying, "Oh yeah, Roth is a really nice guy. Ran into him at the Lakers game the other day." So he like didn't really comment on that at all. But
yeah, typical.
I thought it was interesting. Like he was offered a lot of money for that one role, and then turned it down.
Yeah.
And then the role that he turned it down for actually never ended up getting made.
That sucked.
Yeah. So that I feel like that's an early blip in his career that probably really hurt him, especially when these behind the scenes people, they know people and, you know.
Yeah.
He also pulled out of other movies called Northern Lights in Cancun. Due to scheduling conflicts.
That is flaky and like not great behavior. But I also feel like I hear about actors all the time dropping out of movies and it's like not that big of a deal, you know? I feel like I'm always reading about movies like, oh, this person was originally going to play them and then they dropped out and then they got this person. Like I feel like that always happens. So like why would that derail his career so much unless people were just like not really sure about him to begin with?
I want to say it's probably because like the first movie after a big franchise is very important. Like Taylor hadn't really proved himself yet, even though he made a lot of monies in the Twilight films. Like it's really interesting the fact that he was the most paid teen actor in the world because he had never been the leading role in a movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Unlike Zac Efron and Shia LaBeouf. So I think that probably next film that he picked probably would have really decided a lot about the trajectory of where his career would go.
I can see that.
Not that I think what was Rob's first movie, Remember Me? I feel like that wasn't a huge make or break movie.
No. But also I feel like people liked that movie. Whereas we haven't mentioned it yet, but his first movie was Abduction, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, was that the first movie after the series or was that in the middle of it? Well, I guess the first one that wasn't Twilight. Yeah.
Yeah, besides Valentine's Day.
Yeah. His first leading role, yeah.
Yeah, that was his first leading role. And before in interviews, Taylor had expressed that he wanted to emulate Tom Cruise's career. And then I wrote that the GQ interviewer said, Lautner has a chance to be one of those non-threatening boyish action heroes, the type that can cross ethnic lines and gender divides and bring people to the box office in droves. So that's Mickey Rapkin who said that. However, not everyone was as clear as this path that this was the path that he should have taken. In the Wrap, in a 2010 article, Lautner, it's called Lautner's the 7.5 million teen, but based on what? The writer wrote, if you're an actor that's looking to make the transition from boyish charm to mature adult, then the clearest answer is to get yourself in an action adventure where you're shooting guns or driving a plane, said Howard Suber, a film professor at UCLA and author of The Power of Film. But the right roles and the right attitude may not be enough, Suber says. A lot also depends on how an actor ages. For every Leonardo DiCaprio or Johnny Depp who successfully navigates the rocky shoals of idoldom to emerge as stars in their own right, there are scores of Jason Priestley's and C. Thomas Howells who never mature into more adult roles. I don't even know who they are. When the cute and baby fat wears off, it's not clear that the audience will still be there, Suber said. Which I think is a little bit
sad.
Yeah, it's sad. I feel like the haters were kind of proved right with Abduction, which premiered August 23rd, 2011. This received scathing reviews. It received only 5% on Rotten Tomatoes. And all of the reviews were really mean. I'm just going to read two of them. Kyle Smith from the New York Post said that actual abduction may be preferable to the movie of the same name, but only if your kidnappers don't torture you by forcing you to watch it. Adding that Lautner has the acting chops of Bert from Sesame Street.
Oh my god.
Kurt Osland from Slate Magazine said that Taylor can't carry a movie any more than Abigail Breslin can carry a refrigerator.
Oh my god. So mean.
Okay. Actually, and Owen Gleiberman from Entertainment Weekly, he was a little bit more forgiving and said that Taylor's not a terrible actor, but if he wants a career after the Twilight after Twilight fades, he'll pick better films.
Hmm.
I've never seen Abduction, but I have a feeling that like an actor can only be so good, and like sometimes the writing just can't help them.
I'm kind of curious to watch it now.
It did seem like an interesting story. It's about a kid who realizes that his parents aren't his real parents, and he was abducted when he was young.
Yeah. But that does sound like The Face in the Milk Carton. But whatever.
Oh, that's a book, right?
Yeah. But I think they had like a TV movie too. But yeah. It is interesting.
I don't really understand why it needs to be a action movie. I feel like that could be a good drama.
Yeah, that sounds more like a drama to me.
Like, I don't know what the action would be in it. Your parent just trying to kill you?
I know, what? I was into The Face on the Milk Carton. There's like 4 books in that, actually.
I've never read it, but would it be weird for me to read it now?
I don't know. Maybe I'll reread it. It's very, like, I don't know. I think it was written in the 80s or something, or 90s, but...
Is it a kid's book?
I think it's supposed to be for teens, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Abduction only made $28 million domestically, which actually sounds like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it was a big flop, and it was number 4 at the box office.
No, that's not a lot.
Yeah, considering that Taylor had received $5 million for the role, studios didn't think that he merited the wages that he asked for anymore.
Yeah, and consider that wasn't Twilight's budget like 30-something million, and that was considered like really low.
Oh, yeah, that's so true.
Crazy.
So it's weird because I feel like I don't really know how much Rob's movies made, but I feel like a lot of people who were into Rob would just, I mean, we'd just go to see him in the theater no matter what, but It seems like the Jacob fans weren't as dedicated.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, why didn't they go out there and support him?
I don't know. Yeah, why didn't they? If we weren't really... I like Taylor Lautner, but I wasn't like a Jacob fan, so like I didn't really pay attention, but...
Yeah. If any of you guys claim to be Team Jacob and you didn't go see this movie, I'm sorry. Some of that responsibility lies on you. You better put your money where your mouth is.
Oh, I feel bad for Taylor right now. Like, first of all, he's like
I know.
the third wheel in the whole Twilight series. He tries to break out and do his thing, and it just doesn't work. And people are so mean in the reviews.
Yeah. It's like, I don't think that he even had a chance, really. Like, no one was taking him seriously.
This is turning into a tragedy.
I know. And then he was also rumored to be dating his co-star Lily Collins.
Oh, yeah.
But some also believe that this was just for publicity because they broke up right before the movie premiered.
Oh my gosh.
And I have a clip, Taylor talking about Lily.
Lily, the relationship in this movie is really quite wonderful. So now everybody's talking about that fact that you're dating. Is it because you became friends first working on a film?
I mean, we are. We're good friends. I mean, she's very talented, and we had a fantastic time making the movie.
That's Taylor's version, but director John Singleton gave me the real scoop. Things heated up on the set.
I was watching it from afar, but I was so far into the movie that it just took me by surprise. I really wasn't aware of all of that until we did the love scene, and then they came up to me and said, "We're really going to show you what we can do." And I was like, "Huh? What's this about?" We're going to surprise you. And I said, "Hey, hold on, guys. You know, this is PG-13. I said, "Now watch this. Watch what we're going to do now." Like, it was funny. Lily was like so wry about it. She was like, and Taylor was like, "Okay." They were really going for it with this movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, so actually it's the director talking about how the two of them were dating. It was like kind of creepy.
Weird.
Yeah. So then it's October 2011. This is really not that interesting, but Taylor appeared on GQ Australia. Mm-hmm. And the interviewer mentioned how Lautner recently had dinner with 2 gay men, director Gus Van Sant and Milk writer Dustin Lance Black. Mm-hmm. And the writer actually asked, "Oh, did they hit on you?" And Taylor responded pretty politely and just said, "It's not a coincidence that there was a writer, a director, and an actor at dinner."
Yeah, what the heck?
No, definitely not. He said, "No, definitely not. I think they know I'm straight, but they're great guys. They're a lot of fun." And that interviewer got a lot of heat for basically saying that, you know, like talking about gay guys as if they're, you know, predatory.
Yeah.
And, you know, also in the same way, I think, like, objectifying Taylor, he said, "We've seen some of the comments floating around regarding our recent interview with Taylor Lautner and apologize if anyone was offended by anything in the article. It certainly wasn't our intention to paint anyone in the story as a sexual predator. The point we were actually trying to push was that Taylor is irresistible to virtually anyone, regardless of sexuality or gender. Hence the film crew cheering at the shirtless scenes while shooting Twilight and Mark Wahlberg deeming him better looking than Leonardo DiCaprio." It's just like the weirdest apology I've ever heard.
Yeah, that is weird. Also,
It's like,
that's not true. Like,
yeah,
not everyone is attracted. Like, just because someone is like a sex symbol right now doesn't mean like literally everyone's gonna be attracted to them.
Yeah, it's like weird. It's like saying like, oh, we weren't insulting them. We were complimenting Taylor. It's just really important.
Yeah, that's just creepy.
Yeah, but I feel like Taylor handled it well.
Yeah, Taylor's very good at, you know, keeping up a happy face and like being charismatic. Much better than Rob and Kristen, actually.
Oh, yeah. I feel like Rob will never be visibly upset in an interview or anything, but Kristen definitely takes no shit from anyone.
But Rob like makes it clear, like he'll be sarcastic, but you can tell what he's like trying to say, kind of. Whereas Taylor he's not even being sarcastic or anything. He's just like,
Taylor wants to please everyone, but he's not going to also surrender his values to do that. Like, he's not like a follower, but he's just very nice and poised and just a good person. He's also the best public speaker of all three of them.
Definitely.
Like, when you watch interviews or like when they would go to award shows, he just like seemed the most confident and comfortable.
Yeah. So true. I was watching one with him and Kristen, and I mean, you know, we love K-Stew, but it's just very different.
Yeah. Oh, completely. You could tell, like, I feel like a lot of times when the three of them had to accept an award, they like gave Taylor that responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah, here you go.
I have a clip of Taylor talking about Twilight ending.
I was talking to Rob, and I was talking about sort of the nostalgia that comes when things actually end. And he insisted that he didn't get emotional when he finished shooting, but he said you and Kristen did. Does that sound right?
That does sound about right. Yeah, I just don't know how it doesn't. When it means so much to you, it really, this franchise has meant the world to me, and it's given all of us so many opportunities, and it was definitely a bummer when it ended.
After listening to this interview, I was like, was Rob really not emotional? But so then I looked up the same interview with Rob, and he was just sarcastic about it. And I know that like everyone's gonna say like, oh, Rob hates Twilight.
Oh yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
But he said that he wasn't that emotional because they kept bringing them back for reshoots, and that he didn't really feel like it was over because he had to promote it and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's totally different context.
Yeah, but they made it seem like he like was happy that it ended.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, and he said like, oh, well, my last day, it was like horrible weather, and like everyone just like left without saying goodbye. So I feel like people always just take what Rob says and spins it to the narrative they want it to be.
Yeah.
But I thought it was cute. Taylor said that him and Kristen were very emotional. And you could tell Taylor really didn't want Twilight to end. In interviews, he said he, you know, was kind of dreading it, and he was really grateful for the experience. In 2013, he was in Grown Ups.
Oh, yeah.
He played frat boy Andy. And the cast all said nice things about him. They said that they were nervous and didn't know what he would be like, since he was just kind of the good-looking guy from Twilight, and that they thought he would really have an attitude or be a diva, but that he was really nice and that he always showed up on time and did whatever they asked for and was like always willing to collaborate and improvise. And they just said that he was like the nicest guy. And then in 2015, he was in a movie called Tracers, which is another action movie, but this actually went straight to TV.
Dang.
Though it was reviewed slightly better than Abduction at 15%, it really, was not a hit at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he also dated his co-star, Marie Avgeropoulos, from 2013 to 2015. But again, they broke up shortly before the movie premiere.
What the heck?
So it's kind of weird that that's a pattern.
Yeah.
I also never heard of this girl, so I looked her up. I guess she's a CW actor on a show called The 100.
Oh, Caitlin loves that show. My sister.
I knew that Caitlin probably watched it. Before she dated, actually, she was charged with domestic violence against her previous boyfriend.
What?
For striking him in the head, neck, and arm in a car on the freeway.
Oh my
the boyfriend
God.
dropped the charges. Yeah. So this bitch is crazy.
Taylor.
It's crazy because
okay?
Taylor's he's such a nice guy, it seems. I couldn't picture him dating someone so horrible.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to ask my sister what she thinks of this actress, but
yeah. No, but yeah, she didn't beat Taylor as far as we know, but her ex-boyfriend.
yeah.
So then in 2015 as well, he was in The Ridiculous Six.
Oh yeah.
Which I actually have seen this movie. My college friends watched it, I think my sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
One night when we were under the influence of each other's company. And it reviewed at 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my
It's
God.
another Adam Sandler movie, and it's a horrible movie. I remember being really freaked out by it. Taylor's kind of funny in it, I will say. Not ha funny, but
Yeah.
to quote Trey in Sex and the City.
Oh yeah.
But I thought it was
Trey.
interesting. There was controversy surrounding the portrayal of the Apache culture.
Oh.
And it was reported that dozens of Native actors walked out, but in actuality, it was only 4 Native actors out of the 150 people who left the set because they thought that it was taking satire too far. But Netflix released a statement saying that the film was satirical and it's meant to be ridiculous. Hence, it's called Ridiculous Six. Which I don't really remember the movie, but it's just ridiculous all around. So I feel like it's really, you can't even begin to get offended by it because it's just a horrible movie as it is.
Oh my God.
I thought that was kind of ironic because Taylor plays a Native American in Twilight. So
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
but his character is white in that movie. He's like a hillbilly.
I remember seeing pictures of it and stuff, but I never saw the movie.
So bad, don't even.
Okay. Taylor, I think, needs to do just a great indie movie, you know? He just needs to be in something like, I don't know, that movie Like Crazy, that romance movie, something like that, or like Perks Being a Wallflower, just something likable and good and...
Well, that brings me to in 2016, he did, I don't know if it's an indie movie, I think it is. He did a drama called Run the Tide. It was a small film, and it's about an older brother who takes care of his younger brother while their mom is in prison and a drug addict. It seemed a lot more serious and grown up, or at least an attempt to, do something a little bit more adult in his career.
Yeah.
But it received 9% on Rotten
No.
Tomatoes, it was just another flop.
There's so many trends to this story.
I know. It's like sad. Like I think his highest rated movie might be Eclipse.
Yeah, probably.
Or let me see. What did Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
I doubt that's higher.
19%.
I bet Your Brother Doesn't Too has pretty bad ratings too, so.
I'm looking that up right now. Your Brother Doesn't Too.
I mean, if it has 2 in the title, it's probably not that good.
Yeah. Let's see. Except for like Toy Story 2.
Oh, yes. I'm wrong about those.
Well, my computer's being really slow, so I'll get back to that later.
Okay.
So then, from 2014, I think this was kind of a big break From 2014 to 2018, he replaced Andy Samberg's character on the BBC comedy Cuckoo, and he was the protagonist of the show.
What? I did not know that.
Actually. Yeah, it's a British comedy, so...
What?
I don't think it was very popular over here, but Andy Samberg actually won an Emmy, I think, for this show, or a Golden Globe, so it was a pretty successful show, and it was kind of a big deal that he was the main character.
Wow, I didn't know that.
After 3 seasons, he was replaced by an actor named Andy something. I don't know her name off the top of my head. But it's like one of those shows where they keep replacing the main character after a couple seasons or so. But it actually looks like a good show.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, so like that was pretty successful of him. Oh, yeah, Cheap by the Dozen, 6%. So
why?
Yeah.
I can't catch a break.
I know. In 2015, I think after he left... Actually, no, during his time on Cuckoo, he also starred in Scream Queens, which was an ensemble cast. He only was in season 2. I think his character died. Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah.
And he dated his co-star Billy Lord for 8 months, including during the period when her mom, Carrie Fisher, and Debbie Reynolds, her grandmother, had passed away. And so I have a clip of actually Billy Lord's uncle, Todd Fisher, Carrie Fisher's brother, talking about Taylor and how he, here's the clip.
Taylor, of course, it seems like he has been a wonderful source of support over the last few months. What do you make of their relationship?
Well, you know, as any uncle, you know, you're suspicious of the guy hanging around your niece. You know, she's cute and all that, and you know, she's had other boyfriends, good boyfriends. But you know, I'm going to certainly give that guy the extra look over. I don't give a what his background is. He's getting my extra look. But the truth of the matter is, he's pretty spectacular. He's a really deep person, and he has supported her amazing. He's stepped up and acted like, you know, a husband would act. I mean, not that that's what's going on, but it's just an amazing support system for her. And I'm glad he's in her life. And that's not easy for me to say, you know, if you think about it.
Clearly, this was a very serious relationship.
Yeah.
And they posted a lot of pictures together online, and I watched some interviews with them, and they seem really cute. But then they broke up after 8 months of dating in May 2017. And I guess it was reported that she just wanted to focus on her career. But then presently, Taylor has been dating another Taylor.
Wow.
A girl named Taylor Dome. She's a nursing student from California, from Los Angeles. And I don't really know how they met, but I want to say that she's friends with his little sister.
Wow.
Because they're all really close. They're always hanging out, and they like on Instagram they refer to each other as like best friends. And she must be around 21 because his sister's 21.
How old is he?
He's 27.
Could have done the math.
Yeah. And his sister actually lives in Nashville, so I'm not sure. I really don't know how he met her because she's just a normal person.
Yeah.
She's a college student.
That's so
going to
cool.
school for nursing. Yeah, I love that.
I love it too. Can you imagine? You're just like a normal person and you're dating Taylor Lautner?
I know. Like, she must be like, shit, this is amazing. Like, she's probably never going to break up with him.
That gives me hope for my crushes. Celeb crushes.
Yeah. I feel like that's what he needs. Like, he's such a nice guy that, like, everyone in Hollywood is just trying to get ahead. And,
yeah.
You know, like, I wouldn't doubt it if he has had these relationships that were encouraged as publicity stunts. And so it's, like, kind of refreshing that he's dating just a regular person with no ulterior motives.
I think that sounds sweet. Sounds real.
Yeah, and they seem really in love. They post pictures of each other all the time. They seem really big into country music.
Really?
It's fine if you like it.
Oh,
and they go to this country music festival, Stagecoach, which actually he also went with Billy Lord, and he's posted a picture. I don't know if it's Stagecoach, but he has posted pictures with Stella Maxwell, so he's still very close with Kristen.
Wow. Yeah, it seems like him and Kristen are friends. Or at least...
Yeah.
Yeah, they must be still, but... Yeah, definitely during our Robson episode, it seemed like it came up that they would hang out and stuff, so...
Yeah. And it seems like he is in with Kristen's posse.
Really? Besides Stella?
Yeah, he's like a CJ.
Oh, yeah.
Hands. He posts pictures with Taylor a lot.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Kristen's friends with this guy, CJ.
Yeah.
Mel and I pay a lot of attention to his Instagram.
Yeah, well, he posts pictures with Kristen all the time. He's like
Yeah.
her best friend.
It's crazy.
Yeah, also Taylor's girlfriend, she's a nursing student, but it looks like she's also trying to become a YouTuber a little bit. She has a YouTube channel. And so I watched like all of her videos in preparation for this. It was cute. They actually had a vlog where the three of them, like Taylor and his sister, went to Chicago for 24 hours and like they vlogged it. And that was interesting that they all shared a hotel room, which is what normal people do, but you would think that like Taylor could afford to like put his sister in a different room, but no, they just shared a 2-bed hotel room. And
cute.
They went to a pizza restaurant and Taylor took pictures with fans, and they just seem really grounded. Taylor seems like one of those people who's like really close with his siblings too.
Yeah.
Or just his sibling.
Yeah, I saw that he posted so many pictures that his sister got engaged.
Yeah, so many.
And it was so normal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It looked like someone from my hometown or something. I don't know.
Yeah. They seem like very just normal people. And, you know, I don't know if it's really if Taylor's just not landing roles, or if he just doesn't really want to be wrapped up in the Hollywood life anymore.
Yeah, so I always kind of like dislike it when people say, oh, they, you know, what are they doing now? Or like, oh, they're not famous anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw in preparation for this a lot of YouTube videos that's like, why Hollywood won't cast Taylor Lautner.
Yeah.
And I feel like if Taylor wanted to, he could probably still do a lot of like indie films.
Yeah.
Like he obviously could still get cast. It's not like his representation dropped him or anything.
Yeah.
He could do whatever he wanted. He could be like, not whatever he wanted, but he could even have like a talk show or something. Like, I don't know, but it seems like he's just living his life.
I know. And it seems like he still likes to act, but what if he just, I don't know, people change careers all the time. What if he just didn't want to do that anymore, or just needed a break? Because showbiz sounds really tough. Like people can be really harsh to you, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's nothing wrong with someone being like super famous at one point and then not so much later. Like that's not shameful or like bad. It's just that's how life is, you know?
Yeah. It's interesting because I always thought that Taylor, he was a lot more mainstream than Rob and Kristen, and that none of them were really, or that Kristen and Rob weren't really prepared for fame, but Taylor was more equipped for it.
Yeah.
But I actually think that all of them are pretty uncomfortable with the limelight, and Taylor especially is very grounded, and like he's not one to sell himself or to like have a scandal or be a diva. He's just a really genuine person, and I feel like that almost sadly doesn't really belong in show business. I also think that we don't really know like why his career hasn't been as successful, but I do, as I mentioned, I think that it was just mishandled by the people managing it, and they really were just trying to market off of his body. And you know, no matter how good of a body he has, that doesn't last forever, and it's not captivating enough. Like it's just completely superficial, and so people don't even know him, and like people never asked him deep questions. Like you didn't get to know his personality at all.
Yeah.
And he really kind of never had a chance to become I don't know, people took Rob and Kristen way more seriously.
Yeah, definitely.
That's pretty much all I have.
Yeah, he's still kind of an enigma. But I don't don't know, not in a mysterious way. He just seems normal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he posts a lot. Oh, he did a lot of fan art Fridays for a while on his Instagram.
That's so cute.
It's so sweet. I would always just like post pictures that people drew of like Jacob.
Yeah. I love that.
And he's very proud to be a part of the series, which I really appreciate.
Yeah. He seems proud of like everything he's done.
Yeah. I mean, even like with Grown Up, he was like so honored to be a part of the cast and like work with Adam Sandler and Kevin James and David Spade and Chris Rock.
I remember the guy that played Kato, the bad guy in Hunger Games, was in that too.
Oh, really? Also Milo Venta, what's his name?
From Hannah Montana?
Venturama. No, Milo from This Is Us and Gilmore Girls.
Oh, I don't know.
I can never pronounce his last name. It's like Venta.
I have no idea.
Venta Migala. Yeah, he's really cute. That's pretty much it. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's just hard to find much on him.
I know. But yeah.
Basically.
What were you going to say?
In conclusion, Taylor seems like a really nice guy. And I think that he was done a disservice by not just the press, but by the Twilight producers.
If any of you guys know things about Taylor that we don't know, or maybe you met him, or maybe you know him, let us know, because we want to know.
Oh, if you know him, just tell him about this podcast. And
yeah.
I actually emailed his assistant the other day, so let's see what happens.
And dude, we will ask Taylor deep questions.
Yeah. I don't care about him being shirtless.
Yeah.
I don't care about his workout routine. You know, I want to know who Taylor is as a person, and I want to know how he felt about all that objectification.
I know.
I want to know
how he feels about karate. Like, does he miss it? Like, was it hard for him to choose between those two things? Does he ever think about opening a karate school? I don't know.
That would be really cool. Or what about, like, what if he wrote, like, a karate movie or something?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
You know, what does he think about late at night? What stresses him out? What does he worry about?
Yeah.
What are his favorite songs to, like, just cry to?
This probably... Yeah, what's his good cry song? I know he said before that his favorite movie is The Notebook and Gladiator.
Yeah.
And his celebrity crush is Jessica Alba.
Pretty basic. Yeah.
See, that's a dumb question. That's just like a dumb question. You know, like it's not like getting into the root of
celebrity
who he
crush?
is. Yeah.
Okay, but I've always wanted to be a little bit famous and someone asked me that question so that I can answer it and then my celeb crush will know.
Would you say Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, maybe I would. I'm scared of Rob, though. I'm kind of intimidated.
Oh, gosh. Me too. Like, I almost feel like I love Rob so much, and I think that Rob is really humble, but a part of me also thinks that, like, he's one of those people that, like, this is purely me speculating.
Yeah.
But if you're friends with him, you're, like, lucky to have him in your life for a time.
Yeah.
And then just slowly you feel him, like, through no fault of his own, just going off and doing better things.
That's
and you're
so
just grateful
true.
for that time you had with him, you know?
Yeah. It's like every time you see him could be the last because he's just like...
Yeah, like...
He's a nice guy, but he's so mysterious. He might just, like, vanish.
Yeah, and he's not even purposely trying to leave you. He's just... Everybody loves him, and...
Yeah.
He's just going off and doing other things, and you're happy for him, but you miss him.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Whereas I feel like Taylor is like a true homie, like forever. He's a ride or die.
Yeah. He definitely is.
You know? And I think Kristen you could maybe say the same thing about Kristen.
What, she's a ride or die?
Yeah, I just feel like, I think she's a little bit more I don't know.
She
sticks around more.
She seems hard to grasp to me in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, she is. I have no idea what kind of person she is.
She's an enigma.
Yeah. But I feel like I can confidently say that Taylor seems like a really nice person.
Yeah, he does.
But you also never know. You know, he could be a huge dick.
That's true. We don't really know. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Someone that seems like so nice, and even if you've met them like several times, then you find out you're like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what? Everyone makes mistakes. Whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. But
Yeah. Well, Taylor, we forgive you.
What did he do wrong?
For these mistakes you might have made that we can't name.
Oh yeah. I feel like dropping out of that movie, we don't care.
Yeah, it was a kid.
He was just a kid. I know. I bet someone else was like, you know, like this other movie is gonna be way better, and then he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then he got screwed.
Yeah, and also when you're that age too, you're not just making money for yourself. There's people behind you that have their own selfish motivation. So you have the weight of a whole team of people on your hands, and you basically have to support them with whatever it is you do.
That's stressful.
I wonder if, like, when you're that age, if you provide for your family with your wealth.
I wonder. Yeah. I just feel like there's so much pressure being a famous person. Like, the fact that you are supporting a whole team of people, like, their salaries and stuff. And, you know, when people are... I hate when this happens myself, but when someone, like, quote, sells out or whatever, like, yeah, it seems sucky, but it's like, there's a lot of pressure to support all these people, and I can see wanting to, like, walk away from it a little bit, or just... Or it just being hard to navigate in general.
Yeah, I agree. And then people have things to say about you.
Yeah.
And... they just, like, don't care at all about that you're a real person.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention Rob, but do you think that they keep in touch at all?
I feel like no.
I feel like no as well, yeah.
If I had to guess. They're just two totally different types of guys, you know?
Yeah. I feel like they probably got along pretty well when they were in the movies together.
I bet
but
they
like,
did.
There was no reason for them to keep in touch after.
Yeah.
But I feel like him and Kristen are pretty different, so it's, like, interesting that they're still so close.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they do.
Yeah, maybe they text.
They text. I don't know.
They probably wish each other happy birthday.
Yeah, I hope so. Man, if I could be a fly on the wall, oh, that'd be cool.
I know. Oh my gosh. I feel like at this point, because we have a Twilight podcast, the sad thing is we could never, like, be genuine friends with them. Because they would think of us as, like, you know, fans.
We would have to, like, end the podcast, obviously. No. But yeah, like, how could we talk about our friend?
Yeah. Also, I just feel like it would be hard to, like, if we just met them, to hide the fact that we were, like, obsessed with them.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
I know.
it would just be like, oh, that's so weird. I never even watched Twilight.
I know, we couldn't. Yeah, that would be just not genuine.
Yeah.
So we basically have no chance.
Yeah, it's sad.
Oh.
I would love to meet all of them, though. I would really love to interview Kristen. I feel like I have so many questions that I could ask her.
Now I feel really intrigued about this hypothetical Taylor Lautner interview. Like, I want to get to the core of who this person is.
Yeah. No, me too.
And
like,
everyone will be like, wow, this is a really cool interview.
If we did land an interview, do you think that we would go travel to see him, or just, like, do a Skype?
Maybe. We don't make any money off of this, and we just, like, travel to LA.
I know.
Spend, like, hundreds of dollars.
But I think our podcast would really take off if we, like, got the, like, big interview with Taylor Lautner.
Hopefully.
And he, like, really revealed, you know, his true self.
Yeah.
Taylor, we love you.
Yeah.
Please come on the show if you're listening.
Please don't hate us for any comments we may have made or hinted at throughout this show.
Yeah.
I guess that's Taylor.
Yeah, it's Taylor. Well,
I feel like
this was a fun episode.
I'm not used to like having an episode that's not 3 hours long.
I know. It's still longer than I thought it would be, though.
I mean, our show used to be like 45 minutes in the beginning.
Yeah.
I know.
There's just so much to say.
You would think that as it progresses, we'd be like, okay, we have less to say, but...
yeah, like we've covered that before.
No, just keeps going. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. We hope that you enjoyed it, and please share any insights you have into Taylor Lautner, what you think of him. Have you met him? Do you have a poster of him? Did you ever kiss the poster? Oh, that's me objectifying him. There I go.
Do you have a question for him?
Oh yeah, what would you ask him?
Yeah, just in case we ever do interview him.
Yeah, maybe DM him and tell him to come on our show.
Yeah, help us out.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks guys.
We love you. You're the best.
Have a great week and see you next time.
See you soon. See you in 2 weeks. Maybe even less if you listen to this late.
Ooh. Oh.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. You can contact us at anotherbiteoftwilight@gmail.com or find us on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at anotherbiteoftwilight. Theme music is by Traces. See you next time.